Now to one of Australia's biggest manhunts. Malcolm Naden is wanted for one murder, suspected of another, and has shot and wounded a police officer trying to arrest him. He's been on the run for more than 2,500 days. Now, police task force has been set up to track him down at an estimated cost of more than $10 million. In this special report, David Richardson joins the police search and meets the bounty hunter, who says he'll collect the $250,000 reward on Naden's head.
He's certainly the toughest guy I've tried to get. This is the biggest operation New South Wales Police Force has had. He is one of Australia's most wanted criminals.
He's put his life on the line. He has put everything into staying away from authority.
Tonight, he's Australia's most wanted man, a fugitive wanted for murder, a suspected murder and rape, on the run for 7 years in a manhunt not seen since the days of the bushrangers. He is Malcolm Naden.
Malcolm Naden is a very dangerous criminal.
This story begins in Dubbo in central west New South Wales, where Malcolm Naden was working as a shearer and boner at a nearby abattoir. In 2005, Naden's cousin Lateesha Nolan, a 24-year-old mother of 4, disappeared from her grandparents' house. Naden lived next door. Then 6 months later, Lateesha's friend Kristy Scholes was found strangled in Naden's bedroom. Naden had vanished. His life as a fugitive had begun. Mick Pete is Lateesha Nolan's father.
He's the only person that's got the answers, I think. Yeah, we don't know until he's found, until he's caught.
Naden hid out in Western Plains Zoo on the outskirts of Dubbo. Police believe he used large drains to sneak inside, stealing food from a staff room and sleeping in the ceiling of a staff residence right here. Staff didn't have a clue who was hiding right above their heads.
He was in their tin roof without any insulation whatsoever. It was the hottest period of time when I was out there. It was about 45 to 47 degrees in the heat.
Naden went undetected until a cleaner spotted him having a shower. Security guard Mick Williams also saw him running away.
And yeah, he was literally right in front of me and went up through a car park, it went across a road, we then went around the back of a building. That's when I actually did lose sight of him.
The Barrington Tops, 76,000 hectares of World Heritage Park, are wild terrain varying from swamp to thick scrub to lush rainforest. It's here Malcolm Naden has been hiding on and off for 7 long years.
He's learning to plan, he's learning to be patient, he's learning to stay in a bolt hole, he's learning to hole up.
Nick Vrumans is Australia's #1 bush survival expert. He trains SAS soldiers on how to live here.
This fellow has put himself in a situation where he doesn't want to be found.
To give you an idea of how difficult it is to hunt one man in all of this thick scrub, I'm standing literally right in front of you, less than 10 metres away. I'm right here. Now imagine trying to find Malcolm Naden in more than 2,000 square kilometres of this.
Nala seen him once on the ridge there, which we assumed it was him, and a few days later he visited a neighbour over the hill here, and then he come back again, and a few days later she seen him down on the flat down here under a tree. He probably got a camp here somewhere, see?
So what are we looking at? What's that, a K?
That's about all, a bit over a K, yeah.
So he could be within a kilometre of us right now?
Could be.
Farmer Ron Nicholson noticed things disappearing from his home before Christmas last year, so have his neighbours. Then Naden broke into this bush shack, which Ron rents, and used it as a hideout. So what did he take from this place?
Blankets and other stuff.
We think that he's laying in wait in the bush and watching the houses himself.
Assistant Commissioner Carleen York heads up Taskforce Durkin, the manhunt for Malcolm Naden, the biggest in history. Is he clever or lucky?
A bit of both. The weather's been particularly bad against our search. Lots of fog up there, which is not unusual in the colder months, obviously, but over summer it's been quite difficult. It impacts on our air resources of getting the helicopters up and doing the searches that way.
Twice police have almost nailed Naden. They discovered a bush camp, but he escaped after shooting a policeman in the shoulder. He was then cornered in a bush shack, but again escaped. Now, with a $250,000 bounty on his head, Naden has again vanished into the bush like a ghost. This is Malcolm Naden country. He's been spotted around here up to a dozen times since Christmas. You can see why. He's got everything he needs. Fresh running water, dozens of isolated empty cabins for food, clothing, shelter. And if he needs to bolt, all of this impenetrable scrub. He could be just here watching us right now. He could be a bit further away looking at us through a telescopic sight on a rifle. Knowing that does give you a very creepy feeling.
We're going to get some bloodhounds on the track and go up there into him, try and sniff him out.
They've tried for 7 years.
Yeah, that's them, not me.
Pete McMillan is a 45-year-old carpenter turned bounty hunter joining the hunt for Naden. He posted signs asking for Naden's clothing so his dogs can pick up the fugitive's scent.
To me, it's just another hunting mission. I know his latest sightings and where he was and where he's been and what he looks like and how he operates and the rest of it. So, yeah, I've done my homework on him.
Today, Naden has been on the run for 2,448 days. No one has eluded the law for longer. In the 1860s, the notorious bushranger Captain Thunderbolt remained at large for a day less in exactly the same area. Taskforce Durkin police believe Naden is still in the Barrington Tops.
We're confident that we'll locate him and bring him into custody.
The fact that he has avoided capture all this time, one would have to say that he's developed some pretty good skills, and it's going to take a fair bit of work to be able to find him.
Now, the $250,000 reward is available to anyone with information that leads to Malcolm Naden's arrest. As always, the number to ring is Crime Stoppers, 1800 333 000.